Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 176 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of November the 16th through the 22nd, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And I'm Liamette.
And we're opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studios South, also known as my house. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern. Okay, so I talked to Brian Ricciardi last night. Brian, as you may recall, is the owner of Mozzarella Fellas. Brian said that he is in negotiations with the owner of the building where Spruce Street Garden and Craft Tavern was located about moving into that space. Now, now.
What?
This is not definite, and he wanted me to make sure to make that clear. He said that he has actually been talking with several locations that he's been working on getting in there, and all of them have fallen apart in the lease negotiation phase. He has some concerns about that space, and I told him just to make sure to have someone come in and sage the hell out of it.
I was going to say smudge,
yes. I think parking may be a big issue, but as long as people can still use the space in the spot there next to it where the old car lot was, he should be okay. Street parking is allowed. He did say that a name change is definitely going to happen whenever and wherever he moves. He doesn't know what that will be yet, but it will not be Mozzarella Fellas, since that totally goes against the vegan theme, lifestyle, and menu.
Right.
So, again, we reiterate that this is not a definite, and several other places have been worked on and have fallen apart. He says he doesn't know if this is going to happen. He hopes it does. He wants to be downtown or closer than where he is. So that's potentially big news. Let's hope that goes through. I want him closer to us. So press pound, please.
I thought it hung up. Sorry.
That's okay. So I hope Brian. I wish Brian good luck with that, and I hope that he keeps us informed of what's going on.
That'd be great to have him downtown. I know he's been looking at that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
That'd be a good spot for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and where I got that was from Street Team Steven, whose office is directly behind that building. One of his neighbors, who is vegan, had, I guess, talked to Brian or something, and so that's where this came from. But I, again, want to reiterate, nothing is final and nothing is definite. We are just in the filling it out negotiation stage right now.
I think his restaurant would do very well downtown. It'd be a nice addition to the other varieties that we already have available there.
Yep.
Maybe some other folks downtown will hear this and go, oh, we got somebody that's got an established business that's done well, that wants to be down here. Let's help them make that transition.
You would hope. And that's what we do.
But no more MF. No more MF. That's going to go away.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, the name.
We had a good replacement MF, or
I thought we did too.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah. that we get that. Yes. Yes. That would
but I will
and I did send that to him.
But I will I can come down and smudge with the best of them. I mean,
are you a smudger?
I can smudge. I mean, people don't think I'm a smudger. It's like a little unknown, but I guess now let's bring it out to light.
Are you coming out of the closet?
I'm coming out of the closet.
How many times does this make?
like 20 years, but whatever.
That's funny.
But I will smudge with the best of them, and I have some good kumbaya music playing with that. I mean, I do believe in a good smudge. I mean, and that place is one that it might need a little bit of that just to
Might need a
clear
team
the
of
air,
smudgers.
let some things go from the building, just release.
Yeah, release all the bad mojo. And let's reiterate too that the problem with Spruce Street was COVID. It wasn't the other things that have plagued that place in the past. But COVID still is bad enough, and it just the difference was it affected all of us.
Right.
So, Delicios has added one more spot. That's where their grab and go. They will be in the school in Innovation Quarter there. So the research building, they are going to be there. Their grab and go goodies will be in there in the IQ building. Maria said that they were told that Inmar is about 50% of their business, and Inmar is huge. So I don't know how many folks are back in Inmar. I have several friends who work there, but I think they're doing stuff from home. But even at that, the new apartments across the way, all kinds of stuff going on. So that is another win for Delicios. I love that they're finding a way to get through this this slow time in restaurants by making themselves available outside the restaurant. So
what a great way of thinking, literally outside of the box that is their restaurant.
Right. So congratulations to the Delicios one more time. I hope I just keep mentioning this every week that they get another spot.
Yeah.
The Winston-Salem Journal has a list of restaurants that will be open or doing pre-orders for Thanksgiving in case you don't want to cook this year, aren't wanting to be in close quarters for very long with your family, or just don't like your family. They have.
Wait a minute. How you gotta talk about me like that?
I'm sorry, I can't come to your house. I've got to go get something from Carrabba's, so I can't come to you this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So check over there, and as Michael Hastings did say in his own personal post, that's just a tip of the iceberg thing. So if you don't see your favorite restaurant on that list, make sure you check with the restaurant, because they may be doing pre-order stuff. They may be open. So just check with the restaurants. As always, even on the list Leah and I do, we try to tell people up front, look, this list is only as accurate as they tell us. So, always check if you don't know or don't see something, or something sounds wrong on the list. It's the same thing with Winston-Salem Journal. So it's a really, really slow week. We're heading into the holiday season, and it will probably be thin from here on unless something closes or opens. But I'm going to try to get some guests to keep us informed and help them promote a little bit through the holidays. Leah, you have anything on your end of the list for this week or last week since we last signed off?
No. I think we're status quo this past week. So this weekend it seemed like that when I was checking this morning.
All right. Let's do some food holidays in history.
Let's.
Today is the 16th of November. It is National Fast Food Day, which
Tim does not celebrate.
I have not participated in since December 29th, 2014. I will have non-traditional fast food, meaning, when Zesto was open, I would go there. Which technically, I found it hard to call that fast food because, it was still 8 minutes for a burger. And that's good because it means it was done right. It's not like McDonald's or wherever you go in and order it, and before you've even paid, they've handed you the order. So, a little bit different. But, National Fast Food Day today. In 1620, on the 16th, the first corn or maize was supposedly discovered by European settlers by some pilgrims led by Miles Standish. While exploring the area near Provincetown, Massachusetts, they named the spot Cornhill, not to be confused with Cornhole.
Or Cornholio.
Or Cornholio, when he's taking for his bunghole. In 1796, on the 16th, English inventor Mark Brunel, not to be confused with the quarterback named Mark Brunel, received a patent for ruling books and paper. So I guess notebook, with lines.
Mm-hmm.
In 1801, Alexander Hamilton founded the New York Evening the New York Evening Post newspaper, the oldest continuously published daily newspaper in the United States. It eventually morphed into the conservative right-wing leaning rag that it is now, owned by Rupert Murdoch and his evil News Corporation empire. Although they do have some great stories that would be Darwin Award worthy. So if you, like most newspapers, if you would prefer no slant, read the news and not the opinions. The opinion articles is what makes a newspaper or television, whatever, biased in whichever way it leans.
Well, that used to be true.
Well,
I don't know that it's entirely true today, because it feels like some of the news stories are full of all sorts of bias.
yeah. There's a couple of websites. I'll name one of them. It's called MediaBiasFactCheck.com, and you can go there and you can enter in whichever news agency you might be reading about, and it will tell you its bias, whether it's left, left center, least biased, right center, right. There's a conspiracy and pseudoscience spot, questionable sources, pro-science, satire, and things like that. So that's only one. I follow a couple. I don't remember what the other one is.
I didn't realize there was so many different categories
Oh, yeah.
there could be. Like, I was like, it's either fake or real.
Yeah. And then,
But I didn't even think about biased. I should have thought about that.
yeah, so there's also allsides.com, and that will also do the same thing. And it gives you a chart of the most popular outlets, like CNN opinion obviously is very left, where Fox News opinion is very right. Then you have the left-leaning part, CNN News only, like the stuff that's reported, not necessarily their on-air people, is just left-leaning. It's not necessarily left, as is Fox News for online news only. Then you have, in the middle, you have Reuters, AP, Axios, BBC, the Christian Science Monitor, NPR, The Hill, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, news only, that are center.
Right.
That are center. Then Wall Street
Well,
Journal.
NPR is just news only. Their opinion tends to skew to the left.
Well, the NPR, they are mostly center as far as news only, but their opinion starts going left. Politico is a little bit left. Times a little bit left. The Examiner's a little bit right. The Washington Times is a little bit right. Then you have like the American Spectator, which is all the way right. The Daily Mail, which is all the way right. The Federalist, which is all the way right. OAN, all the way right. Slate's all the way left. Vox is all the way left. New York Times opinion is all the way left. New York Times news only is slanting left. So those are just some of the things. Just be careful, and that way you can also read from both sides to see how things are going and try to balance it out yourself. As always, make up your own damn mind. So,
And we used to, that's the way we were taught, listen to the story, think about it critically, come to your own decisions, and then look to see what popular opinion is.
right. Exactly.
No left.
What?
You said right. No laughs.
Yeah, correct.
But on both.
Okay, thanks.
In 1889, on the 16th, the Oahu Railway began moving agricultural products from the inland to the port, stimulating the local economy and providing a valuable transportation route for decades. On the 16th in 1920, Pitney Bowes introduced the first postage meter for metered mail in Stamford, Connecticut. The 17th is Homemade Bread Day.
Oh,
I
love homemade bread.
I have never made it. I wanted to, but I hate baking. I love cooking, but I hate baking. So I stay away from that usually.
Mom used to make sourdough bread. She had the starter. And so there was a constant stream of bread because once you start that starter, you got to keep using it. You can't just leave it sitting there.
Yeah.
I love good homemade bread.
And tomorrow is also National Baklava Day, which I have already contacted Baklava and More and told them, hey, in case you didn't know, tomorrow is National Baklava Day.
Yep. Maybe did you call your friends over at Yamas? Because they do that too.
Yeah, I did not tell my friends over at
Grecian
Yamas.
Corner.
Grecian Corner, yeah, all the places that do the Mediterranean stuff. They should know that it's National Baklava Day.
Maybe it should be the winner of baklava, where you go and check out all the baklava places in the area and figure out who's got the best.
I would sacrifice myself for that contest.
I think we'd all take one for the team on that.
I'll take 3 for the team, please. Thank you.
Let's see. The 17th in 1857, H.N. Wadsworth of Washington, D.C. received the first American toothbrush patent.
Okay.
In 1968, on the 17th, NBC outraged football fans when it broke away from the final minutes of an Oakland Raiders New York Giants game to air the film. Anyone?
I don't remember the film.
Heidi.
Oh, yes. Something that football fans are passionate about.
Yeah. So what does a sweet little Swiss girl and a Drindle have to do with pro football? Quite a bit, as it turns out.
Nothing.
A seemingly innocuous decision by the NBC executive to preempt the broadcast of the end of an AFL game for the start of a movie, Heidi, triggered a firestorm. Better than any poll, it delivered an unmistakable message about the popularity of pro football and America's passionate attachment to the game. The particulars involved an AFL game between bitter rivals, the New York Jets and Oakland Raiders, at the Oakland Coliseum on November 17th, 1968. The game would serve as a lead-in for Heidi, the network's new movie based on the children's book. The game started at 4 and the movie at 7. The Jets and Raiders squared off in a classic AFL shootout tinged by hard feelings, fights, flags, and big hits dominated a first half that ended with Oakland leading 14-12 in the third quarter. Jets safety Jim Hudson became so enraged that he was ejected. The teams traded scores until New York finally took a 32-29 lead on Jim Turner's 26-yard field goal with 1:05 remaining in the game. The timing could not have been better for NBC. The game went to commercial, so the break ended. Heidi started. Network executives had cut away, leaving New York's lead thinking the New York lead was safe with so little time remaining. They were wrong. A 20-yard pass by Darryl LaMonica and a 15-yard penalty put the Raiders into Jets territory. Then halfback Charlie Smith, isolated on Hudson's replacement, ran by the safety and hauled in a 43-yard touchdown pass with 42 seconds left to put Oakland ahead 36-32. The Raiders were not done either. On the ensuing kickoff, the Jets' Earl Christie bobbled the ball, and the Raiders swarmed him at the Jets' 10. The ball squirted to the 2, where the Raiders' Preston Riddlehuber recovered and ran in for a touchdown to conclude a 43-32 victory. The Jets were alternatively shocked and furious, but that was nothing compared to the emotions expressed to the NBC switchboard. So many angry viewers phoned to complain about them missing the fantastic ending of a fantastic game that the network issued a public apology.
And didn't do that again.
No, and now there's rules in place that the NFL has there. The NFL has complete control over wherever they are. That can't.
If you got to start Heidi late, then you're starting Heidi late.
Yeah.
You're going to finish the game.
That's why now you say 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety after local news, except on the West Coast when generally there's enough time because it's 3 hours difference. But yeah, so the NFL has total control of that. And the funny thing is I have the Red Zone on YouTube TV. And Red Zone rules the league rules are that they can only go up to 7 or whatever it is. So even if there are games being played, they have to stop broadcasting the Red Zone thing. I guess that's to get people to move over to the actual channels. But what happens if your game's not being played?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So, there you go. From that led to a lot of things, outrage and policy. On the 17th in 1973, President Richard M. Nixon told Associated Press managing editors that I am not a crook. So that's coming up.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Turns out, yes, he was. Yeah. And we
won't have Tricky Dick to kick around anymore.
I wonder if we will get anything like that from Chump when he's on his way out. On the 17th,
No comment.
1988.
So many comments, none of them.
Can't say them here.
Yeah, remember, you're a preacher.
Yeah, you're a preacher.
In 1988, on the 17th, Walmart opened its first super center at Wheeler, Oklahoma. It carried fresh meat, produce, dairy products, baked goods, in addition to other standard supermarket products and discount store merchandise. On
The death knell of the small local business.
Yeah.
Spell it WALMART.
2019, the first known case of the coronavirus was traced back on this date in Wuhan province, China. So tomorrow will be a year since they first found it.
What a year it's been.
Yeah.
Man.
In Eugene B. Sims of the Wheeler Dog podcast was born. So tomorrow is Eugene's birthday. He doesn't like a big deal made out of it, but I like to make a big deal out of it because I like to aggravate him. So there's that.
That's what brothers do for each other, right?
That's right. On the 18th, it's National Vichyssoise Day, which is just fun as hell to say, right? Vichyssoise is a thick soup made of boiled and pureed leeks, onions, potatoes, cream, and chicken stock. It's traditionally served cold, but it can be eaten hot as well, which makes sense. I mean, you can heat anything up. It just may not be as good.
Better hot than it is cold.
Yeah, I've only had a couple of cold soups ever, and I'm not a fan of it. If I know it's a soup, then I expect to be warm. But
in my French class in high school, our teacher brought in vichyssoise. I was like, "What's that?" Cold potato soup. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And so she shared it, and we all had it cold. It's like, it'd be so much better warm.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
It's also the 18th is also National Apple Cider Day.
Yeah.
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
I
Of
believe.
course.
Yes, totally.
Yes. Yes.
I believe it's supposed to be non-alcoholic, but no one's going to. Well, at least nobody on
Was
this
there
show.
stop you?
Yeah, nobody's
who's
going to
gonna fight me?
chastise you for it. Nobody. We'll probably partake with you.
Excuse me, I'm with the apple cider police, and you're going to get a demerit because yours has got alcohol, and this is just apple cider day, okay?
It is forbidden. All right, and on the 18th in 1307, the legendary William Tell supposedly shot an apple from his son's head. Maybe that's why it's apple cider day. In 1883, North American Railroad switched to a new standard railway time, SRT, resulting in the creation of 4 standard time zones adopted where Eastern Standard Time, Central Daylight Time, Mountain Standard Time, and Pacific Daylight Time. I don't know why they're different standard and daylight and all that.
Doesn't make sense.
But it's the railroads, and, them crazy Vanderbilts had all that say. On the 18th in 1928, Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie animated cartoon in black and white premiered at the Colony Theater in New York City. The first cartoon with synchronized sound and the debut of Mortimer Mouse. Well, he was Mickey by that time, but originally he was Mortimer. And Lillian told Walt, that's stupid, kids are not going to remember that, so he changed it to Mickey Mouse. He wanted alliteration and got it, but went with Mickey instead
Mickey's
of
a
Mortimer.
much better choice.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
better.
Oh, yeah.
Mortimer.
Yeah.
Mortimer.
No offense to all the people named Mortimer, but Mickey's
Well, there's
a little
some
better
offense.
for a cartoon.
Slight offense to those named Mortimer.
If you were a cartoon, we'd rename you Mickey.
Every time I hear Mortimer, I think of 2 movies. I think of Trading Places, and because one of the old men that were making the bets was named Mortimer. And the same 2, Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy, who played those 2, redid their role in Coming to America. Also, Eddie Murphy in both of those. So, but one of them's name was Mortimer. I'm not talking to you, Mortimer. In 1952, Borden Company registered Elmer's glue trademark. Elmer the Bull is the spouse of Elsie the cow, the corporate symbol of Borden's. In
I don't know of any Borden babies, Elsie and we don't.
Yeah, there was no Ernie
No
or
kids.
Ernestine or anything like that. So,
No.
in 1963, the first telephone in the United States with push buttons with touch tone instead of a rotary dial was placed into commercial service in Carnegie and Greensburg, Pennsylvania. So, there you go. In 1966, on the 18th, American Roman Catholics are no longer required to abstain from eating meat on Fridays. So, there you go. In 1970, Linus Pauling declares that large doses of vitamin C will help keep the common cold at bay. November 19th, in France, the Beaujolais Nouveau wine is always released. It's always the 3rd Thursday in 2020. Of the year. This year it's the 19th. I guess that's so the Americans can buy that crap up and have really bad wine for Thanksgiving. Because the Beaujolais Nouveau is awful.
Sounds fancy though, but it might be fancy awful.
It is fancily awful. That's exactly right. And the 19th is also World Toilet Day. Today, 4.5 billion people live without a household toilet that safely disposes of their waste. World Toilet Day is about inspiring action to tackle the global sanitation crisis. And lastly, as far as these go, it's National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day.
Wait a minute. There's something else that happens on the 19th.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. In 1959, on the 19th, the last Edsel rolled off the assembly line at the Ford Motor Company. In 1961, Michael Rockefeller Rockefeller, son of Governor Nelson Rockefeller, disappeared and was presumed eaten by the cannibals of New Guinea.
Whoa.
Yeah. In 1980, Bill and his wife, T.J. Palmer, opened the first Applebee's restaurant, T.J. Applebee's RX for Edibles and Elixirs in Atlanta. And
what a name.
yeah, I know.
Sounds like a apothecary.
It does. It does. And then sometime in the 70s, Leah Metz was born on the 19th. I'm not giving away any ages.
In the 70s? I thought you said that was in the 50s.
No.
What? I age well. I just age well.
Like a fine wine.
Or
Like a fine-
cheese.
not that wine that sold before they.
Yeah,
not
because
that stuff.
because the Beaujolais Nouveau is not necessarily, it's not aged really at all. It's a very young wine, and I think that's what makes it taste so bad. Then
I'm a refined one.
Then Friday, the 20th of November, is National Peanut Butter Fudge Day, which is fitting, and we'll find out why in a minute.
I know why.
In 1888, the first U.S. patent for a time clock was issued to Willard Bundy of Auburn, New York. In 1930, on the 20th, the National Biscuit Company, or Nabisco as we call it, introduced Mallomars, which are chocolate-covered marshmallow cookies. In 1962, on the 20th, Hardee's restaurant chain registered the Hardee's trademark. In 1984, McDonald's sold its 50 billionth hamburger on the 20th. In 1942, your president-elect Joe Biden was born on the 20th. And in 1970, on the 20th, Timothy G. Beeman II was born, making this my 50th birthday. Yeah.
And so what's the whole point of the peanut butter fudge?
Because peanut butter fudge is my favorite thing.
Yes.
My aunt will make peanut butter fudge for me every year, and she lives in West Virginia, so it gets sent to me via my cousin who lives here. And I didn't even know it was peanut butter fudge day until about how long have I done this show? Because it took me
Recently.
It took me researching this to find that out. But I've been getting peanut butter fudge for my birthday since I was a teenager. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I dig
Yeah,
it.
my grandmother used to make Mississippi mud for me for my birthday.
And what is Mississippi mud?
It's a thick layer of chocolate brownie with nuts, and then a layer of melted marshmallows, followed by a layer of chocolate fudge. You talk about rich. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can only eat a couple pieces of this, and then you're like, okay, I've had enough sugar to last me 12 lifetimes.
But I'll have another piece, please. Thank you.
I have another.
Please.
Thank you.
I'm going to take some to go. Just give me the pan. Thank you. I'll just lick this out.
So the 21st is National Stuffing Day.
Seems fitting.
And what are we stuffing?
Well, 21st, I believe, is the earliest day it can be Thanksgiving. My birthday can never be Thanksgiving. I think the closest it can come is the 21st, which is rare. It happens on the 22nd every 5 to 6 years, but not on the 20th, but 21st, I believe, is the first day it can. So let's go. That's why it's National Stuffing Day. It's also National Gingerbread Cookie Day. Yeah.
I wonder if you can make stuffing out of gingerbread cookies.
You probably could. It would be weird, but you could.
Like me.
There you go. On the 21st in 1620, the Mayflower Compact was signed by most of the adult male passengers aboard the English ship the Mayflower off of Cape Cod, the first framework of government within an English contract in North America. Note that it was November 11th in the old Julian calendar at the time, but what we now consider the 21st. On the 21st in 1934, Nabisco introduced the Ritz crackers that we still enjoy today.
Very much.
In 1980, on the 21st, early in the morning, the deadliest fire in Nevada's history broke out in the deli restaurant in the main floor of the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino, taking the lives of 87 people and leaving some 650 others injured. So, yeah, and I said Nevada, right? Right?
Said Nevada, right? In the MGM's down in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I say?
Nothing.
Okay.
You said Nevada. I'm just putting context.
Okay.
Where it was.
All right.
We mispronounced that word?
Some people say Nevada.
And Stephanie and I had that discussion, election night. And she said, "Is it Nevada or Nevada?" I said, "Look, Leah set us straight on that. She's from Nevada, and she said it's Nevada. I actually prefer Nevada, but I want to be right. So if it's Nevada, it's Nevada.
Nevada.
I like being right.
And it's also Colorado, although we all say Colorado. Yeah.
Yep. Bunch of places like that. It's not Mebane, it's Mebane.
It is Mebane, yeah.
My folks live in Maryville. Most people look at it and go, it's Maryville. Merville. Murvl. Merville.
Merble. The 22nd of November is National Cranberry Relish Day.
Is that also then a Thanksgiving kind of thing? Like the stuffing day?
I believe so. It is.
Trauma.
You what?
You just took me back to trauma.
Trauma.
Thanksgiving trauma.
My mom would make pans of cranberry relish and strawberry rhubarb pie, which is disgusting. I'm sorry for all those folks who like that stuff, but between those two things, there was a sea of red and green throughout. It was like Christmas Massacre in the refrigerator. But putting celery into the cranberry relish, and we would have tons of this stuff, like pans, those cake pans, the 8x12, whatever, and the Pyrex. There would be like 3 or 4 pans of cranberry relish. Like, why?
She made enough to feed a whole city, right?
But it would be my dad, her, and I, and one other person for Thanksgiving. Like, we don't need 3 Pyrex pans of cranberry relish. Nobody ate that shit except for her. Sorry.
But y'all end up.
Brad, thanks for
having to. You had to throw it out at the end by the December rolls around.
I think she ate all that. I don't know if my dad would throw it out over time or what.
I don't know that I've ever had cranberry relish. And it really wasn't until much later in my life that I had cranberry sauce. And, there's a lot of debate that some people say it's not Thanksgiving if they don't get their cranberry sauce from a can. Something about the ridges on that can, if it's not there, then it's not the same.
Like, why would you... I mean, the stuff doesn't fall apart. You can slice it.
Yeah.
From the can, and what's the... that's all
I have
processed.
one good use for that. One really good use for that. It's as leftovers when you're making a big turkey sandwich. And you take a slice of that and put it on the sandwich. Oh, no, that's where it excels. That's its purpose in life.
And, also there's a lot of, recipes for people doing their own cranberry sauce. And I guess that's what the cranberry relish is. But something about that congealed from a can thing that I actually now enjoy, because I always liked cranberry juice, but it was something about when you hear that and it goes onto the table.
When it bounces.
There are some sounds you don't want out of your food.
Yeah. You're sitting there going,
Not the taste, it's the sound.
yeah. And there it comes, and it does that little dance that it does when it comes in.
Little jiggle.
It looks like it should have pasties or something.
Yep. Wiggling and jiggling.
Yeah. So,
And very happy Thanksgiving to you too.
yes. So on the 20, this, okay.
I'll never look at congealed cranberry the same again.
No.
without
We've done
hearing,
that for a lot of
without
times over the
hearing,
years.
without hearing. But on the 22nd, let's get away from that. On the 22nd in 1917, dental surgeons rejoiced because the National Hockey League was officially formed in Montreal, Canada. On the 22nd,
A steady stream of income for years to come.
yes. On the 22nd in 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. The true assailant may never be known. It could have been who they said it was. May not have been. Who knows? When the magical theory of magic bullets and crap like that, who knows?
It was the aliens.
It was the aliens. That's exactly who it was. It's the only logical answer.
They don't want us to know that. It's a great, great secret. But it was the aliens. The Martians in league with the ones from Saturn. Now, the ones from Jupiter, they want to stay out of it. They did not get pulled into it. It's just the ones from Mars and Saturn.
Well, if they were from Saturn, though, they're not Martians, are they?
No, they're ringers. Oh, man, don't you know your galactic terms here? I mean, that's, the ones from Saturn are the ringers.
Oh, dear.
And after that, I'm just gonna continue to eat my.
Well, wait till we get to Uranus.
Oh! You don't want to know what they call that.
They're called sphincters.
Oh!
All right. So, on the 22nd in 1967, Arlo Guthrie's famous ballad song "Alice's Restaurant" was released, and you can have
What a great song.
everything you want at Alice's Restaurant, except in
Except in Alice.
Yeah. In 1992, on the 22nd, actor Sterling Holloway died. I don't usually talk about deaths like that, but he was, to me, very important. He was the voice of Mr. Stork in Dumbo. He was, let me see, I had this stuff out here. He was the adult Flower in Bambi. He was Professor Holloway in Three Caballeros. He was the narrator for Peter and the Wolf and Make Mine Music. He was, let's see, the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. He was in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World as the fire chief. He was Kaa in the Jungle Book. He was Roquefort in the Aristocats. And of course, he was the voice of Winnie the Pooh in the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Wow.
One of my favorite voice actors of all time. So, and let's see, in 1970, my brother Reese was born, making me 2 days older than him.
Man, what a banner week this week is.
Yes.
Just 2 days.
Yeah. He's not my real brother. He's an adopted brother.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure this out. It's like, I know Tim's not a twin. It's 2 days later. Generally, that's 9 months between them with some healing time. And it's like, how's it? What?
Incubation.
Yeah.
He was cooking a little bit.
Yeah.
Just add water.
He was still a bit mushy in the middle, so they put him back.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready yet.
They stuck the toothpick in and nope, didn't come out clean. Stick him back in there.
That's right.
Put
That's
him back
right.
in. Needs a couple more days at 350.
At 98.7, we need at least a couple days.
Couple days.
So that's all your food history and holidays for this week. Special thanks to James Ealer at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, talking about birth weirdness, birthdays,
And about Uranus.
Uranus.
Just to round it out.
Bring back some horrible memories for Leah, and and so on.
Thanks.
And getting her out of the closet again today.
Yes.
Can't ever get out of that thing.
Well, the Man Who Ate the Town is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Wheeler's Dog, and Asylum, Tales from the Devereaux Diaries podcast. You can find all these podcasts and our latest episodes on our website, on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You can also find us on social media links to all three of those or all those podcasts on there as well. We greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors, like our brand new sponsor, Mojito Latin Soul Food, located 723 North Trade Street. Cuban and Latin inspired dishes from a fantastic family, Michael and Michelle Mion, from brilliant ceviche, empanadas, and street corn to Cubano sandwiches, steak sandwiches, the Frita burger, which is, what was it? Pork and chorizo.
Chorizo.
Yeah. So a burger of
Pork
that.
and
Yeah.
pork. I mean,
Pork
the
and more
best
pork.
burger ever.
Yep. There's shrimp and grits. That's what I had this weekend. Vaca Frita and Ropa Vieja. Beer, wine, and soon an ABC license. Mojito Latin Soul Food has your Latino cravings ready for your enjoyment. They do reservations, takeout, and have a rather large outdoor patio, which we sat in again this weekend. Check them out on their Facebook page and mojitolatinsoulfood.com. And I'm so glad that they're here with us.
Yes.
One of my other favorite humans in this world, Mr. Daniel Butner, owns Carrabba's Italian Grill, located 587 South Stratford Road, and this is no chain. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Carrabba's and their owner partners take the communities they serve very seriously. It's in their charter. And you can find, and for us, having a fantastic franchisee like the aforementioned Daniel certainly does not suck. Follow Carrabba's on social media and at carrabbas.com. Washington Perk and Provision Company is located 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything at the Perk, a chip corner, a deli to make your sandwich or get your sandwich on the go. Fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy, all from local sources. Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer and wine, and more. Washington Perk is better than the convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. The Humblebee shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. What's the latest on them, Leah?
She's making some delicious looking cakes here lately, and it's starting to make me mad because I'm in this weight loss challenge and I have to look at this cake and it's not fair.
You see the s'more cake?
Yes, I was like, oh. At first I thought it was a cup of hot chocolate with the,
Yeah.
and then I was like,
That's a whole cake.
cake.
Yeah. Man, that looks good.
It does look good. Yeah, she's doing some cakes. She was doing some pop-up, but I can't tell here, like pop-up storefront type things.
Okay.
At different places, but I can't tell this week. Other than there's just a beautiful s'more cake on the top of her page that looks delicious.
Well, we recommend that people actually visit them on their Facebook and Instagram or the HumblebeeShop.co.
That's SHOPPE.co.
Exactly. This is a reminder to all of our listeners, and it's just good practice, not now, but for always, wash your damn hands. Wash
Please.
with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for about 20 seconds or more. If you need to know how long 20 seconds is, play this. And since my birthday is this week, and this is my favorite song of all time, that's why it's being played.
is it?
Okay, so I can do without getting in trouble.
Yeah, the guy who does this show might have a word to say about all that Sledgehammer music.
Yeah.
Well, and we really, in that time whenever you're playing the music, we should videotape, because y'all should see our dance moves. I mean, it's incredible chair dance moves happening on the Zoom room. Like, I'm amazed and embarrassed. Amazed they don't fall out of their chairs.
Did you get a screenshot of that?
And I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
At one point I thought Ray was going to fall down on the ground out of his chair. I was like, whoa!
Easy now,
where
easy.
Going?
That song, though, just has such a great groove.
Sledge.
Yeah. Sledge. Sledgehammer. Well, keep an eye on my blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send an email to Tim or Leah or Ray at themanwhoatetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man8 the Town. And now we invite you to leave a number or leave a voicemail for the podcast, any podcast on the TLD network. You can call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422.
No.
Leave that voicemail and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM or 6862. And don't forget that you can find us, if you're listening via the website, you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Audible, any of those. And if you don't find what you need, let us know on your favorite app. Let us know, and I'll make sure that we get on there. So, all right. Well, that was fun.
Yes.
Yes, we had a good time that time. And happy birthday early to you, Leah. Happy birthday to Eugene from Wheeler's Dog. Happy birthday to my brother. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Tim. Yay!
And happy birthday to our President-elect, Joe Biden. I'm happy that I share my birthday with him. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, my name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
And I'm Leah.
And we're closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit.
Yamas.
The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.